As well, he joins us from the gymnasium, Christchurch City. G'day there, Spida.
Morena Wammo.
Are you well?
Oh, very well, mate. Very well. Didn't train this morning, so I'm a bit chirpier.
Ah, why no training this morning? What's special about today?
A bit of recovery for next week. So
why? What's happening next week? You've been alluding to just off air to something that's happening next week. What's going on?
Oh, next week I'll be in Auckland, mate. Supremacy 7, which is an MMA mixed martial arts show in Auckland.
Crikey!
So
just having the word supremacy in there sounds daunting.
The Supremacy 7, yeah. Well, maybe it will be. I'm not sure. But it's so that's what I'm in recovery mode for that, since I'll be participating in it.
It sounds like one of those
martial arts fight.
Yeah, so martial arts. Okay, so it's one of those events where you get one of those big belts if you win, one of those huge, ridiculous.
Well, my one won't be, but I think there's a couple of belt titles up for grabs. So maybe when they've finished theirs, I can go backstage and ask them if I can put it on.
Okay, so you specifically have to go for something like a belt title in order to get, obviously, the belt.
Yeah, that's correct. So they were on the Supremacy 7, I think there's 2 titles up for grabs in this particular show, and then everyone else is just there for the entertainment or participating in it for other people's entertainment.
The entertainment is in getting pounded, mashed. Would be the entertainment. The tenderised meat.
The objective is not to get that happen to you.
Right. to do that to the opponent.
The possibility of it happening, Wammo, is quite high. Unless you can climb a fence, because you're caged in. So unless you can climb a cage really quickly.
So this is actually cage fighting.
Yeah, correct.
Wow, man, that's brutal.
Oh, it's just sport, Wammo. It's the perception of it is that it's quite brutal, and I'm sure it can be, but it's just sport, and people get to express their things in different ways. And
yeah,
this is, from a marathon runner to jumping in a cage. So last year was a marathon, and this year is the cage. So
what's the secret? Is it fish oils?
Mate, I wish it just was, but it definitely, I definitely tell you it helps, mate. I can swear to God it helps with the recovery for me, since I've had about 4 to 6 weeks of torture. Fish oils is definitely something I've been smashing back.
Yeah.
And it's been good. So, and that's is it fish oils? I wish it was that simple, Wammo.
Well, if fish oils aren't banned, I take it.
No, they're not banned. No, definitely not banned. There's other substances that are banned, but this is not one of them. But did you know, Wammo, that every disease known to man has been treated by fish oils at some stage?
True. Is it? Really?
Yeah, apparently. Even if it's not true, even if it was 50% right, it's still bloody impressive. I mean, it could be lies. That's what I've learned. But he said they were right. So.
I like that reasoning. Even if it's not true, 50% would be okay.
Yeah, 50% is still a figure I'll be happy with.
All right. What other facts and figures are you going to roll out now about fish oils?
Mate, there's actually 7. I've written an article about it, and there's actually 7 that are, and they actually go in order too. So obviously we know it affects the brain and your central nervous system and your mood, which is good, Wammo, because you can't be cranky on air.
True.
So your cognitive functioning, how you process information, and it also affects your ability, like I said, to be happy. So it increases your serotonin levels, which is your happy gene. Makes you a little bit sparkly, which I've been needing a little bit of over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, oxygen and brain are the most important things we need to survive. And if you improve those things, then therefore everything else will kind of take care of itself. Well, not so much take care of itself, but at least you've taken care of the most important thing first, which is our brain and oxygen.
Yeah.
And after that, mate, physiology. You can't go past physiology, and that's how your thyroid or your immune system, your heart, all of that, your throat and eye, vision, all of that. After your brain is all of those sorts of, so your organs, I suppose, is the best way to describe physiology.
Yep.
And how they function. And that's really important as well, obviously. So fish oils affects our brain that we know of, and physiology. And physiology can be all sorts. So, like I've said, vision, heart, blood, lungs to asthma to liver to prostate to skin.
Yeah.
It's a big one. Fish oils is a big one. Poor physiology is like poor health and poor fat loss results too. Because if your physiology is out of whack, therefore everything else seems a lot harder to get an external result like fat loss.
I mean, to me, fish oil seems rather than a specific, targeted remedy. It really is an overall general well-being thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does specifically target, eyes and liver and all those sorts of things. But it depends on what's weak in your chain. So, for example, it will obviously also decrease pain in your life if you've got joint inflammation. It can decrease the pain that you have. So, if joint inflammation or joint pain is the biggest thing that's an issue for you, and you take fish oils and it decreases it by 10 to 20%, then it's also having an effect on your physiology and on your brain as well. So, but you may notice it more in your joints because that's the thing that is the sludge during the day for you. Does that make sense, Wammo?
It certainly does. Now, if people want to find out a whole lot more, you have written that article up at ehpfitness.com, all about fish oils. And thanks so much for coming on. And we'll just take that snapshot of you now before you get tenderised next week at the kickboxing, martial arts. What is it? Kickboxing, cage
MMA,
fighting,
Supremacy 7 MMA, mate.
MMA.
It's at the YMCA, I think it is.
Excellent.
So I'll be up in Auckland next Friday, but I won't be there till the afternoon. So.
Ah, bummer. Well, I'll be away anyway, because that's how it's meant to be. When you were in Auckland, I take off.
At least we're keeping it consistent this year.
Hey, cheers, Spida. We'll hit you up on Twitter as well. Twitter.com/SPIDA Hunter, one word. See you, mate.
Cheers, brother. Thank you.